Good afternoon. While most of India was sleeping early morning, Narendra Modi completed his address to the US Senate. It was, I think, a grand finale to his US state visit. And I think it left a lot of people, shall I say, part of people mesmerized, part of people, uh, I think, to some extent, if not stunned, uh, they were kind of, I would say, silenced. I was remembering the reaction of one of my former young colleagues who was a great Amitabh Bachchan fan. And we were at a conference, which was the Asian advertising conclave, and that Amitabh Bachchan came to inaugurate the function. He spoke and left, and this friend of mine, he looked very stunned. So I said, "What happened, Ravinder?" He said, Bhagwan aaye, bole, chale gaye. This, I think, was a reaction of many of Modi fans who either saw the speech live or later. But why so? I think we all know Narendra Modi is a great choreographer. I've seen quips on Twitter and live stream, you know, kind of mocking him for the use of teleprompters, which I think is nonsense because using teleprompter is not the issue, it is the content of the thing. And there is no denying those who have seen Narendra Modi talk. You cannot beat him or match him as a narrator. But what is important, therefore, in any state address, people will use either a paper or teleprompter because you are making messages in a very important audience. You have to be very sure about the words you use, unlike me, for example, talking in this live chat. And finally, you are interested in the delivery. And I think he touched upon all the key points which many of his critics and opposition had been trying to ramp up, raise and up the ante as a run up to his visit. But most importantly, as I said in my previous um, podcast, Americans at the end of the day understand business. And I think that's what Modi communicated through the digital strategy of India, the digital India, which I think left a lot of people, eyes popping out because, again, Americans, while they understand business, they're sometimes very insulated and they don't realize, they think the world is America and they don't realize what's happening elsewhere. So Modi's, the numbers and comparing it to various continents when he's talking whether of the mobile handset saying is the full as large as the ownership of mobile handsets is as large as the population of Europe, or saying that Indian Railways transports one whole Australia on by train every day. I think these were eye-opening statistics for people. And finally, so when he talks of defense cooperation, the market there, how many jobs Indian defense cooperation can create within the US, I think that hits home with Americans most, especially when their economy is in doldrums. They are looking for, avenues to boost growth. They're facing such huge competition from China, and whereas the rest of the markets are also going through recession. So the point there is, I think Modi realizes that's what will tick with Americans. And he made those points. And just like earlier, his slogan within India used to be Modi hai to mumkin hai. He passed on a similar message to the Americans to say Modi hai to mumkin hai, which means that they know Modi is the best bet to deliver what America needs just now in terms of economic cooperation with an emerging and a rising economy like India, with our demographic dividends and the kind of economic growth which we have been seeing even through the period of COVID. At the same time, Modi, I think, made the points about how we vaccinated our people, underscoring that that was done free of cost. The kind of DBT transfers which happened during that period, using our mobile and the Aadhaar and the Jam Trinity, the UPI method. I think these are things which Americans never understood. And finally, when he made the points about democracy and how it is ingrained in the Indian DNA, even those 75 senators and people who have written the points, or whatever Barack Obama and Christian Amanpour were discussing, or the op-ed writers in Washington Post and New York Times would have written, I think that point would not have been missed even by the senators. That brings me to the point of the timing of all the opposition and the counter narratives which were mounted in the run up to this state visit. I've already said that I felt Rahul Gandhi's tour of America was intended to ambush Modi's state visit, but it didn't succeed. The kind of initiatives of 75 senators writing, or other anti-India organizations, or the leftist organization mounting their attack, or finally the final salvo of this Obama interview, which was clearly timed with the Senate address and Modi's joint address from the White House with Biden. These were, I think, very, very precisely scripted. It could have been chance, and it is also clear when soon after the interview was done, some Congress handles, international overseas Congress handles like Sam Pitroda immediately tweeted them. But what happens? Will that stick? I don't think so. Modi has successfully neutralized this round of, the negative campaign and all the build-up. That does not mean his opposition is going to lie low from now to 2024. This will be a concerted attack. There is a lot of investment, pun intended, lot of resources, again, pun intended, going into this campaign against the BJP and Narendra Modi for 224. But what we have seen in the past, wherever Modi has his back to the wall, it brings out the best in him. He has seen that through in the domestic constituency pre 2014, and he has seen that in his two terms. But now I think he is now addressing clearly the international and global audience, and he's trying to make a mark there against all odds, against all competition, just like he did to come to power in India. To some extent, therefore, he is even now an unstoppable force, and people will be, people are really living in some kind of in a different universe if they think by just having lectures in several American universities, think tanks, press club, or taking a truck ride from Washington to New York, they will be able to bring down Modi's stature, what he is enjoying today. It is his moment, his time, and I don't see his popularity in any way reducing, or in the run up to 2024, which seems to be the objective of all the forces aligned to stop him or change regime in India. Thank you very much. This was Sandeep Ghosh signing off from the Ghosh Spot. I'll try and catch you once more, maybe before Narendra Modi returns to India. Meanwhile, have a great day and see you soon.